What is up, YouTube? Holypups here. This is going to be the Elemental Dragon update that's happening during the mid-season patch. This update is going to be huge to junglers because it's going to bring back a lot of the dead junglers back to life. So let's go over the dragons right now, and I'll go over what their abilities are and what I think of them. So right now we have the Fire Dragon. Increase champion killing power, augments your dueling power and team fighting ability. Basically just going to be a... It's supposedly supposed to be a permanent buff. Maybe it'll be a permanent buff along with an active buff for a certain period of time. Like, let's just say this gives you the 5 dragon stack for 3 minutes, but it also increases your total damage output by 3% passively. So the passive will stay, but the Fire Dragon effect will only happen for about 3 minutes or so. Who knows? They could really change this up a lot. We have the Earth Dragon. The Earth Dragon basically increases turret and epic monster damage. So pretty much this will help you soloing Baron. This will help you doing a lot of other stuff, which is really cool, and it just really helps you get objectives, obviously. I think this will be really good in poke compositions that are trying to rush towers down by about like the 20-minute mark. But of course, these dragons are completely random, so it's very important that you understand that because you won't actually know what dragon you're going to get in the game. This gives it like a randomized aspect in League of Legends, which is really cool because it's always changing. You can change your strategy, you can change your formula depending on what dragons you have. Hey, we have 2 Earth Dragons taken by the 20-minute mark. Let's go for an early Baron, etc. Water Dragon, increase health and mana regeneration. This is something I really like because if you get this during lane phase, it's going to be huge. If you get this on a jungler that's very mana dependent, like a Mumu, you might not actually need it to have blue buff anymore. This just might basically give a Mumu or someone who's very mana hungry infinite mana, which is really nice. Same thing with like Swing or something like that. Though it's obviously blue buff is going to be better, but this is just going to be something that's really good for mages especially. Air Dragon, increases out of combat movement speed, augments your ability to outmaneuver your opponent on the map. Pretty cool. I think this one's really good. I'm sure the pros are going to love this one more than any of the other dragons because this allows outplay potential, this allows rotations, etc. This is really good against people who are trying to split push because obviously if you have that little bit of movement speed, it's pretty stupid to chase like an Udyr with this. Just imagine Udyr. Guy's fast as hell, he gets even faster now, passively, which is really stupid. Imagine double Air Dragon Udyr. God, I can already see it now. But, yeah. These are the dragons, and the main dragon that we have to focus on is the Elder Dragon. Now, what is the Elder Dragon? This is a response to Baron. The current game right now is that everyone focuses on, well, okay, we basically fight for about 25 minutes and then we huddle around Baron and we have to watch that like a hawk. Now, if they set up for a Baron, we can take Elder Dragon as a response, and hopefully Elder Dragon will most likely give the 5 stacks that Dragon currently gives. That would basically make it where it gives a 3-minute buff versus a 3-minute buff allows you to stall. So basically you'll trade Baron for Elder Dragon. I'm pretty sure that they'll still gain a significant advantage by getting Baron because they'll get the 1500 gold, but you'll basically be able to survive the Baron push because of Elder Dragon. Because right now, Baron is such a huge impact on the game, and it has to be a huge impact on the game, but it ends games too quickly, or basically it makes them too one-sided, because once a team gets Baron and they push an inhibitor, that basically gives them a shit ton of potentials to get Baron again. Oh, we took an inhibitor? Okay, let's go push. Basically take the inhibitor again once it respawns, go to Baron, repeat. And that basically gets you trapped inside your base. And it's very one-sided. Now, if they basically huddle around Baron, you can basically take Elder Dragon, and then you can hold off the Baron push, because you'll have the Elder Dragon buff. Now, they said that it basically will give you a stacking method of all the other elemental dragons. I don't know if it'll give you one of each, if it will just empower the ones you currently have, or something along those lines, but it makes sense to basically make it where it's a counter to Baron. You want to focus this thing as a response to a Baron call. They decide to huddle at Baron, you counter it with Elder Dragon. That's the way I'm looking at it currently. So, let's go back to the elemental dragons. What's going to be a massive change for these guys? Well, one, what they're going to do is they're right now currently overshadowed because all the massive mage updates that are happening right now. But this is going to bring back a lot of the junglers that could solo dragon early on. I'm looking at currently Fiddlesticks, Master Yi, Shyvana, Warwick, Zac, Vi, and Aatrox. Those junglers can solo dragon at level 4. Those junglers are going to be extremely important with this new update because it's going to go from an assassin-based jungler composition like Kindred and Graves to a more of a secure objectives jungler composition like these. Now, I'm pretty sure Vi can actually do it, so Master Yi's, of course, going to be still godly as ever, and Vi is still good. But this is going to bring Zac back to life. Actually, Zac is actually pretty damn good right now. I don't know why people don't pick him. It's going to bring Warwick and Fiddlesticks back to life, okay? There you go. The two ones that like are never picked nowadays. So Warwick will come back to life. You're most likely going to see Skirmisher, Sated Devourer with Blade of Rune King or Rage Blade, and Fiddlesticks with his new AP abilities. Or I shouldn't say AP abilities, I should say AP items. So that's what I think of the Elemental Dragon update. I think it's going to be huge because it's going to not only change the, well, I should say this mid-patch update is not going to change just the mages. It's also going to affect the jungler and how the game is played in a whole. That's the reason why I really like League of Legends, is because the game is always constantly changing. The game always rotates their cast. Right now, we had like Graves, we had Kindred come back, we had all this other stuff that became really, really good. But with this patch, it's going to make a lot of the other champions completely overshadow Kindred and Graves because of all the new stuff that's coming to life. Like, Warwick might not necessarily get a buff, but he's going to be good just because of the fact that he can solo dragon effectively. And he's still a good champion right now. He's just he just doesn't have anything on Kindred. He doesn't have anything on Graves. There's no reason why you would pick a Warwick over a Kindred and Graves because it's not going to be anything. But with this patch, if you get an early water dragon, you get an early fire dragon because of a Warwick, that's going to maybe possibly outdo whatever Kindred or Graves is able to get off the map. And Kindred and Graves definitely cannot get a dragon by themselves. Actually, I don't know. Kindred might be able to. Haven't tested that out yet, but I'm like 95% sure Graves can't. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think. I'm really liking this patch. I really like what they did with the Dragon update. I was expecting the mages to get an update sooner or later. And if you're wanting to know my comments on the Vel'Koz update, I don't know. I like Vel'Koz currently right now. I don't see any problem with this kit. It looks like they changed his ultimate for some unknown reason. But we'll get into that when I see the actual updates. Let me know what you guys think. And thanks for watching.